the government has their own, they have their own side. And some of the farmers are not even registered. So that also makes the issue of reaching out to them to help them difficult, because if they don't have their data, how will they be able to give them intervention? And some people who have written their names, whose record in the Ministry of Agriculture because of intervention are not even farmers themselves. So how can we reconcile this and ensure that justice is done and that people are not there is no camouflage. So indeed, yeah, and let's remember also that this has a very much implication in the inflation rate. Yes, it's very, very, the implication on inflation, and even as a matter of fact, the inflation hit a 17-year high in August this year before the flood. So the flood situation is making it to reach about 23.12%. Yeah, so that's the figure. So sadly, there seems to be not to be any remedy in sight as we approach the Christmas season, because the food supply demand equilibrium is greatly distorted. And and as we all know, that the demand for food stocks is usually higher in the during the festive seasons. So, and now we are in November, and before you could say, Jack, we're already in December. Yeah. So, but however, on the other hand, we will be having a short supply of food, no doubt, given the various constraints faced by key actors along the food value chain. So this will invariably lead to a spike in the price of food commodities again in the coming months. So remember, the government had taken decision that there will be no importation of food, so that we will encourage farmers. So how are we now encouraging farmers? And that will take us to the concepts that I developed. I am working with some persons who are very much interested in Africa's transformation, especially Nigeria, where I am originally from. And what are we doing? We are talking about technology in agriculture, and which is a game changer. And I will really encourage our government to embrace technological solutions, which touches on AI. Yeah, is using of agricultural drones. AI is artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and every technology solutions, which is it nanotechnology, biotechnology, and all of that. Yeah, and sometimes we could also encourage vertical farm initiatives. Yeah, especially in urban areas, because it's also known as urban agriculture, where there are limited lands for cultivation and is most times for horticultural crops. And now people are having health issues, having nutritional deficiencies, and food is very important. And, how can we ensure a good health, a good life without food, without the right food to eat? And that takes us to food security, food safety issues. Yeah. And so I hope I made my.
Anyway, thank you for that. I also like when you were outlining some of the effort that is being made by the Nigerian government to respond to the issue of food in the country. In fact, it's something that a lot of Nigeria have been asking the government to do in terms of even protecting the local production, no? Because there is no way we can grow if we just open the market economy like the Babangida administration did during the IMF law and the debate that happened at the time. You remember, no? That the condition that the IMF gave to Nigeria was to open up the economy. And of course, we are still repeating the bad effect of that, because we as a country didn't have anything to put into that economy apart from oil. And of course, for many big multinationals, the country that we are dealing with in the West, that is perfectly fine. Even today, with the Russia-Ukraine crisis, they still need the oil from Nigeria, which is fine. But for the Nigerian people, we don't have much to put into that economy apart from oil. So in that sense, opening the economy up didn't really make any sense other than saying, let's just uh, over-saturate the market that we cannot control. How can we how can we survive in it? We must protect the local productions. Make sure that maybe they are giving some tax incentive to produce and make sure that they're able to compete in the market. So in that sense, I like the idea that maybe the federal government have said that they don't want to continuously import food so that the local production can survive. But if that is the case, this is a challenge for them. What is actually the preparation of making sure that the local farmers are going to be able to put food in the market? Because if they don't put food in the market, whatever Abuja is saying is only noise. Because at the end of the day, the Nigerian people need to eat. They cannot eat ideology. They need to eat real food. If the local people cannot produce food, the other food must come somehow into the Nigerian market. Where is the food going to come from? So what I'm actually asking as a question is, what are the concrete evidence to back up the idea that the Nigerian government want the local farmer to be able to compete in the market? That is a question.
Yeah, good question. Because I know that there is, trade among nations, which is international trade, and even now that the African Union has encouraged African nations to trade among themselves in the free trade area. Of course, that's the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, and yes, it's really daunting. Like I said, it's daunting for the government. It's daunting for the stakeholders, and it's a difficult situation. Which can I? Yeah, the whole answer to this is technology. If we had laid a very good foundation for the farmers, especially, yeah, we know that the farmers are majorly smallholder based, and they have little or no collateral, like about 60 to 70% of farmers in Nigeria. But we are welcoming, Nigeria's farmers. They are welcoming, increase in, farmers coming in, people joining the agriculture industry, especially those who professional career people in the medical profession, in the pharmaceutical industry, in engineering, and people are really getting into farming now because of that red flag that showed during the COVID. Yeah, so and even before then, people, you really have to feed well, and yeah, so I want to, talk about the last issue which just occurred, this flood issue that just occurred with respect to the costs.